Hello.
Hello, Dami. How are you doing? I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, while we wait for. Okay, great. I just want to be sure that we're good. Okay. Right. Okay. I guess I can start. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I want to be sure that everyone can hear me. Can we drop a message for me in the chat box just to be sure? Okay, great. Okay, good morning, everyone, and how are we doing today? It's an awesome day, a day that we'll all be looking forward to, and I'm glad to be here with you. Would be your host today. I'm Damilare Oshokoya, and I'm one of the products of the curator and founder of Edustart Global. So it's going to be a wonderful time. We would ensure that you enjoy every bit of it. So to kickstart, we would like to start with God and give him the respect and the honor for granting us an opportunity to see a day like this. So if you permit me, I would like us to, in our respective location, anywhere in the world, to please close our eyes as we'll pray shortly. Thank you. So Father, in Jesus' name, we want to thank you for the opportunity to be alive on a day like this, for counting us to turn all the glory unto you in Jesus' name. Lord, we are committing today's program into your hand, that Lord, you take absolute control in the name of Jesus, for every of the listeners, and you make this event to go well and be an awesome one in Jesus' name. And for everyone that will begin to digest the products, which is the book today, so many lives will be blessed through it in the name of Jesus. For in Jesus' mighty name we'll pray. Amen. Okay, so this is post-COVID era, and it's very hard to have physical gathering. I'm just trying to master how I can, harness the energy of everyone in the room and pass, the vibe that I'm feeling from here to everyone. So just to ensure that we are all together, can I see everyone say, good morning or hi from where they are in the chat box? I want to be sure that we have everyone here, like everyone is really, really here with us. So please, if you can hear me, can you just say good morning to me? You're from India, and just put it anyway. I want to ensure that we are all in here. Okay, hi, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, Mr. Shay is here. Awesome. Thanks for gracing this event. We love you. We love everyone. Deji, Caleb, Bayo, thank you. Oh, there's Martin Luther King. No, okay, it's not Martin Luther King.
Good morning.
Oh, awesome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm grateful of energy. So let me use this opportunity to, briefly introduce our guests in the house, leaders, fathers, many of them that I've learned from in years. Thank you for being a blessing to all of us. And it's an honor to always have you here. Let me start with Mr. Israel Oviri. Mr. Israel Oviri, good morning from Lagos, Nigeria. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. Good morning. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, thank you so much. It's an amazing time. I few encounters that I've had with Mr. Israel Oviri, everyone in the house. It's an awesome Nigerian-made entrepreneur, but made for the globe. And we're going to learn a few things from him today. I've had few encounters with him, and they've changed my story too. Also in the house today, we're having in our line of speaker is Mr. Olorunseyi Sunday. Is the co-founder of Pertinence Group. Is also a made in Nigerian entrepreneur for the globe. Mr. Olorunseyi Sunday is co-founder of Pertinence Group. Amazing to see great men who have taken the power of business to transform many people around them through the works that they are doing. Also today in our line of speakers, Mr. Olonse Sunday is just joining us all the way from Canada. Say thank you for honoring our invitation. It's an honor to have you here today.
Thank you, Damilare.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm amazing, sir. I'm doing well.
Awesome. Dr. Steven.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much.
Good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Also on our lineup today is one of the products of the prestigious University of Entrepreneurship. That's why I call it Covenant University. Our own ego, is the CEO of Softcom, Mr. Ayodeji is also here with us today. Yomi Ayodeji is the CEO of Softcom, a leading tech startup company here in Nigeria that is doing amazing work. I usually say that their company is a hub for CU smart students. 85% of their workforce they have CU grads, and they're doing very, very well. Also on our speakers list today is one of the women that I respect so much. I met her in my days at Covenant, and that is Miss Odun Oluwalonge, co-founder at DIY Law. I've always told her that when I get in trouble, she'll be the one to release me. But I've never gotten in any trouble yet. And she always says that, oh, I'm a business lawyer. And she's doing amazing work, helping startups and helping companies in the business front when it comes to that. I want to say thanks to everyone who's joining us from every part of the world today, wherever you are calling from or you're joining us from. I promise you that it's going to be a great time. And we're here to celebrate not only something I feel like is remarkable, something that I've been blessed and from, or a source that I've been blessed from, but many people have learned from. And I hope that you take your time to listen, you take your time to be part of what we're about to do today, and you'll be amazed by what we have in stock. So next we'll have, it is important to tell you that we're on a global movement. This is just part of the piece, and you're fortunate and it's an opportunity that you're part of the global movement that we want to start. One of the things that I've learned from a great mentor is that every great thing used to start small. And it's always a privilege to be at the beginning of great things. And we're about to witness that today. So Miss Odun Oluwalonge is just joining us. That's the co-founder of DIY Law. She's also here with us. Thank you, ma, for coming, and God bless you. So today we're about to witness a revolution. The ones that kind of Martin Luther King did in their days, the one that kind of Nelson Mandela did. No one is going to prison this time, but it's about to change the history of life. It's about to change the history of entrepreneurship in Nigeria. We've been doing this for a while. The author has been doing this for a while, and then it is time for us to, go global about it, about what we're doing. So in that remark, we're going to play for you a very short video. Now, if the tech team is ready, that will launch us into what exactly we're about to do. What we want to do is beyond a book launch. What we want to do is beyond, just talking about the book. We want to show you the picture of the future that we're going to. So please.
And I've had I want to talk about an opportunity you cannot afford to miss out on, and that's the Edustart REACH Project, starting with the Edustart REACH Book. The first thing to see is that this is written by Dr. Stephen Oluwatobi, and I've had the privilege to know him personally. I've been his student for a number of years now. Definitely, I've seen the impact that has had on me. So the first thing to say about Dr. Steve, if I could summarize him in one sentence, is the fact that he's on a mission to make entrepreneurs. If you look at the things he's done, he run Startup Lab, which he started, and that has helped a lot of students gain the confidence, and a lot of course, students that have left universities as well, gain the confidence to build exciting business ideas that have actually scaled and are actually at work. You could also look at the Edustart REACH Summit, which has definitely had a lot of impact. Dr. Steve also has taught thousands of students entrepreneurship education, and this has got a lot of value in the lives of other people, including mine. It's given me personal confidence that I needed to start a couple of projects. And if you look at the book, that's the book we're talking about today, the start of what I would say is a mission. It's broken down into everything you need to know, everything that is really essential to become a high-growth entrepreneur.
When I learned that he was releasing the Edustart REACH Book and the entire Edustart REACH project, I was so amazed, right? Because I went through the contents of the book. I'm like, this book, I wish I had it when I was starting, because it's literally all I've learned from him over the last 4 years compressed in one book. And trust me, it's the best thing you could have this 2020.
A bulk of all I know about entrepreneurship can be attributed to my meeting with Dr. Steve. And so I really want to recommend his book, the Edustart REACH Project, which is all about raising high growth entrepreneurs. If you know me and you want to know my drive, then get this book. I highly recommend it for you.
Dr. Stephen is someone I've known since 2013 to be very keen about entrepreneurship and solutions for Nigeria. He has generated content for a very long while, coming from the EDS class down to the University of Lab. He has created an environment for entrepreneurs to thrive. He's someone that is very, very popular in the startup space, both back in campus and in the alumni base. Can't wait for the book launch coming 30th of June with the powerful speakers that are there. Don't miss that event for anything. It's going to change your life.
I want to recommend Dr. Stephen and his book, Cultivating High Growth Entrepreneurial. This book, which we have seen, brings about his years of experience doing and building high growth companies in his environment. Therefore, we ask everyone, join us in this revolution of building high growth entrepreneurs and go and get the book.
With hundreds of proteges, students, and mentees that have passed through him, Dr. Stephen Oluwatobi has passionately cultivated and nurtured the seed of innovation and building the attitude of being solution providers in the lives of many, of which I am a beneficiary of. His depth of knowledge, networks, and resources in the field of entrepreneurship has spurred a lot of young minds onto the path of success. I believe strongly his desire to make available his wealth of experience and insight into building businesses that will make lasting maximum impact in his new book will be invaluable to many of us that are seeking to make the world a better through the vehicle of entrepreneurship.
Dr. Stephen Oluwatobi has been in the business of cultivating entrepreneurs for as long as I've known him. We've had the opportunity of working on different projects that has to do with student entrepreneurship, and you see the passion and the drive to build these individuals to create amazing projects. I myself once have been influenced by some of the words that he has spoken when I had the opportunity of working with him. I truly recommend this book to any entrepreneur out there who is thinking about building a multi-billion-dollar business. You have got the foundation laid in this content, in this book.
He's so passionate about impacting people's lives. No wonder at some point he became the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship Development Studies, where he was able to drive entrepreneurship in Covenant University.
This is an opportunity you want to take. Therefore, reach out for this book when it comes out finally and get a copy. And as you get a copy for yourself, get it as a gift for others to be blessed by the same book.
Hi there, I'm Abraham Owosheni. I've known Dr. Stephen Oluwatobi for over half a decade, and one thing is unique about him, his passion for entrepreneurship. Dr. Stephen has just released a brand new book titled Edustart REACH, and the goal is to groom over 50,000 entrepreneurs with the right knowledge, the right skills, and the right attitude for entrepreneurship. We have always looked forward to having a rich and complete guide for instilling entrepreneurial education. Then this is the answer to your long-awaited search. What a joy! We now have a complete REACH guide that takes you through the entire processing from purpose to ideation, to value creation, to strategy, to innovation, and even leadership. I have no doubt that this book will redefine the entrepreneurial educational landscape. It is highly recommended.
I saw in him as a man that is determined to make an impact in developing young entrepreneurs, and I'm not surprised that he decided to put this in writing, which has led to this book it's launching. I've gone through the summary of the book, and it's a book that I think is very, very timely and helpful for the study of entrepreneurship.
The book REACH is a one-stop shop for appropriate knowledge required for creating enduring enterprises. I'm glad to say that KwaZulu Center for Entrepreneurship is committed to supporting the Edustart project.
Stephen has shown so much consistency in his passion for raising a new generation of entrepreneurs in the African continent. So I've known him to hold on to his position that we can raise some of the greatest entrepreneurs out of this part of the world, and he's committed his life essentially to doing this one thing. And I want to say that this book is a timely one and one that addresses the core issue of entrepreneurship. Many persons have jumped into entrepreneurship without the requisite training that is required to thrive. I want to formally endorse the Edustart REACH Project, which aims to raise about 50,000 entrepreneurs who would build multi-billion-dollar businesses.
Whoa. Can we please put our hands together? I was there and I was blushing. I was blushing. Can I see, thumbs up, from everyone in the chat box section? Man, this is awesome. I'm a reality too. As I was watching this video, I had an encounter through working with Dr. Stephen with many of these testifiers that I'm seeing. And myself personally, when I got to Covenant to work with Dr. Stephen, I can't forget one of the things that I said in our first encounter. I said, at a time, there's going to be a time where we will not be graduating only first class and second class students in the university, or we'll be graduating business owners. And it was so short, but was very impactful. And every single day, whether we're working to 2 a.m. or to 3 a.m., it's about how do we build or cultivate the next generation of business leaders. And he has been at it for a very long time. I didn't know a jack. Today, I'm responsible for more than 2 tech startups, 3 now. And I didn't know a jack about 4 years ago when I had an encounter with him. And majority of the things I've learned today is as a result of these practical steps and things that he has taught, that he has put together in the book. Wow. So please permit me, let me introduce to us the host, the curator, founder, co-founder. I know he doesn't like CEO. He's a very humble man. The apostle of the Global REACH Project, Dr. Stephen Oluwatobi.
Thank you so much, Damlari. Thank you so much. I'm very I also want to deeply appreciate those who have been of help to me and who have also advised me and inspired me in a number of ways. I want to acknowledge and recognize the presence of the board members of Edustart Global Foundation. Thank you, Dr. Israel Ovire, Shreya Bolaji, Odunoluwa Longe here, Mafolashade Oluwatobi, and Adiola Oyeyode as well. I also want to recognize one of our speakers for today who has become like an elder brother for me too, and that's Mr. Sunday Olorunshe, whose works and impact has done a number of things to bless a lot of people. Thank you so much for making this day happen and for the value that you've been adding. You have been an inspiration to me as well, and thank you really so much. I just want to share like a brief background of what this mission is about, to give everyone a clear picture of what it is and how we can advance from there, so that we can be very purposeful in the things that we're doing, and we can allow our speakers to impact us with grace even today. So this is what it's about. It's about cultivating 50,000 entrepreneurs to create multi-billion-dollar businesses in Africa. Is this possible? Yes, it is. So if you look at the testimonies of some of our speakers for today, you will know that it's actually possible. They've been involved in multi-billion-dollar businesses in this country and all over the world. And the reason why they're here is because the grace on them should replicate on every one of us who really desires to become multi-billion-dollar entrepreneurs. Why do we need to do that? Because Nigeria needs it, Africa needs it. So fast forward 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what will be the future for our children, for our grandchildren? If we're not deliberate about the number of things, then it means the future is bleak. And for us to do something, some of us will have to create the platform for a number of things to rise. Like I believe so much in the book called the Bible, which is the wisdom of God, which says that we shall set the foundation for many to rise. So I believe that this is to set the foundation for many to rise. And that's what this mission really is about, so that we can secure the future and create wealth for our nation, for our continent, and then we can become vessels to channel prosperity to the world. And the way we're going to do that is by building entrepreneurial ecosystems to achieve this mission of cultivating 50,000 high-growth entrepreneurs to make multi-billion-dollar businesses in Africa. We have proven this at a small scale at Covenant and a few universities that we've worked with. It's basically about the ecosystem, not about entrepreneurship education. Entrepreneurship education is just a fraction of the ecosystem. And the ecosystem is made up of two legs particularly. And the two legs are talents, development, and incentives. And to do the talents, we have to get ourselves involved in entrepreneurship education. We have to get ourselves involved with mentoring and exposing the students and those that will be going through this program and what we're going to be doing on the Edustart REACH project through a form of exposure. Also, we'll be exposing them to exercises and getting them to start things. Even though they fail at them, they'll learn from them and the experiences will be relevant. Like we've seen that over time with a number of persons that we have worked with, and also to expand their innovation capacity. So that's what talent development is about. The other angle of it is incentives. So it's not enough to develop the talents. We need to create the enabling environment and support systems to see to that they're able to produce and to create and to solve problems while profiting from the process and building wealth and creating prosperity through that platform. And the incentives here connotes ensuring that we have proper institutional quality. And that's why policymakers will be one of the categories we'll be working with and partnering with on this Edustart REACH project of cultivating 50,000 entrepreneurs to make the next multi-billion-dollar businesses. And also we'll be working with startup hubs and also setting up hubs to ensure that these things fly. We'll also be ensuring that the infrastructure needed will make this happen. And also we'll be providing access to mentors, to funds, and to markets. We are not doing this alone. We're working with partners like you to make this happen. And these are the two legs. So what will happen if we do this well? These are the things that will most likely happen. There are 4 grids here. I came up with this from my experimentation over the years, this past 10 years, and these are the things that I can summarize so far from what I've understood about what an entrepreneurial ecosystem should be and the kind of ecosystem that will be fruitful. So if you look at the grid D, that's a barren startup factory. That's a desert ecosystem where we have low level of talent in terms of quality and low level of incentives. In the previous slide, I talked about the 2 legs, talents and incentives. So that's what incentives and talents here is referring to, right here. Now, if we have low level of incentives, low level of support system, and low level of talent, it means that's a barren startup factory. In the case of the grid C, where we have high level of talent and low level of incentives, 2 things could happen there. The first thing that could happen is that the talent might be strong enough to influence the needs to improve the level of incentives. If we don't have that happen, the other thing that could happen, and that will most likely happen if nothing is done, is that we are going to lose the best of talents, and so they'll be flocking to other countries where there are higher levels of incentives. So, and that is the case where Nigeria is now. We have some degree of high level of talents, but the incentives are not matching up, and so we have lots of leakages of the smartest brains to other economies, and so they're enriching other economies. Grid B is another one where we could have low level of talent, but high level of incentives. The beauty of this is that the incentives could inspire the need for people to begin to do something. And this we can take advantage of, meaning that we could put the necessary infrastructure and support systems to see to it that we encourage people to do something. But the best place to be is the grid A, and that's what Edustart is trying to do, to see how we can improve the level of talents using this book called Becoming a High-Growth Entrepreneur, Edustart REACH, and also the other support system, working with partners, ensure that we boost the level of incentives. So our goal on this project is to get to grid A, and it's like a 3-year project, and we're racing on immediately, beginning after this launch. Now, like I said, we are not doing this alone. We'll be working with lots of partners already. We are working with a few higher education institutions already. And we're doing that through our 3E project program, which is Edustart's Entrepreneurship Education. I'm also working with funders who will be supporting the things that we're doing. So we're actually asking those who partner with us financially. We'll be working with mentors who will be helping to mentor some of these persons we'll be working with, because we're going to be keeping track with all of them. It's not just about the book, it's beyond the book. We want to see results. We want to be able to measure our success. Very shortly, I'm going to be showing how we're going to be assessing ourselves and measuring success. So we're working with corporates and policymakers. So we're asking you to support this project and so that we can all work together. As I mentioned previously, I said for everyone ordering the book or funding in a particular way or supporting in a particular way, you actually partner with Edustart Global, and we're on this mission together to cultivate 50,000 high-growth entrepreneurs to reposition Nigeria and Africa as a globe, because it's not places that make people, it's people that makes places. So we want to consciously create the support systems to make the people and see to it that we're able to make this continent economically. Now, this is the persons that we're looking at. Knowing that the African population, even Nigeria, those within the ages of 14 and 35 constitute about 68% of the population, meaning in a few years from now, they'll be the ones running the economy more actively. So if we are deliberate about that process, a number of them are still students right now, so we can take full advantage of that. That's why they're our number 1 target. Number 2 target, entrepreneurs. Number 3 target, aspiring entrepreneurs. Number 4, young professionals. And number 5, employees who want to be more and do more. And these are targets on this project. This is how we're measuring our success. We're measuring our success based on those who are able to reach with this book. We're also measuring our success based on the number of persons we are going to train to help to take the knowledge further to impact a lot of people. Number 3, there is the number of entrepreneurs that we would have trained. And number 4, there is the number of talents we would have developed, particularly talents that will be required in providing solutions for this digital age that we belong to. Number 5 will be the number of schools that have subscribed for our 3E program. And number 6 will be the number of partners for our internships, because as we train them, part of the program will be for them to be involved in internships, serving in already existing institutions where they can learn from a good boss, a good entrepreneur who knows how to develop systems, who knows how to build companies. And with that, they're able to replicate the things that they're learning from wherever they're interning. And number 7 will be the number of entrepreneurial mentors. Number 8 will be the number of ventures that will be created by these entrepreneurs that will be taken through this program, and also the number of jobs that they will create. So we want to deliberately create jobs through the process. And number 9 will be the volume of Edustart communities that we'll have in places like higher education institutions. And number 10 will be the average valuation of each of the ventures. So this is how we want to assess our success. These are the things that we're going to be measuring in terms of metric. Like I said, we are not in this alone, and we have those who are board members of the Edustart Global Foundation, and they are here. I deeply want to appreciate them for their impact and contribution so far in seeing to it that this happened. Currently, we're working with a small team that has been adding value and ensuring that things work. Ngozi, Uche, Emmanuel, Jerry, and Toluwade. So these have been what we've been doing so far. I hope that we can achieve a lot more today, and by partnerships, we can achieve a lot more and drive success in this that we're doing. Thank you so much to everyone. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we please put our hands together for Dr. Stephen? You know, we're learning all these new ways of interaction, right? So let's put our hands together. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you for taking us through this journey. For many of us here, we are product of this great work that you've been doing for years. You know, I was going through it, and I can remember, you know, in the very early days when you were putting all this together. Looking at those videos, I was seeing some amazing faces there, and you know, like CEO of I saw Herbert Akachi, you know, founded some startup, failed. You know, you were there to support him to start over again. Now he's doing successful. He's doing very well. He's not a big boy. What's the other name? She's now in London Business School. She started Aboki, that's the footwear company, and now she's speaking like the queen. You know, I remember those days that, you know, they would come and say, I'm tired here. I don't know how to go about this. I don't know how to do this. And then you were taking them all through the journey. So everything that is packed in this book is not a theoretical work. It's not a research paper of, okay, these are all practical work that happened in the lives of more than 3,000 students in the space of over 5 years in doing this job. I know you were one of the very big pioneers of moving entrepreneurship within the educational system from just being a vocation to actually teaching students how to run successful businesses, not just teaching education. And a couple of times, via the curriculum that you built, I know that the NUC has requested for this curriculum over and over again. Before I call our next speaker, I remember that humorously, a team had to come from a tertiary institution in Kano when they heard about some of the things that you're doing, and they came all down. And by the time you were done with them, they were like, they're not sure if they can catch up in 3 or 2 years to go and implement all of these things. So we're going to take go into a little bit of having a review of what the book is. I've gone through the book. Beyond the book, my testimony is also part of the book. So we'll just have a bit of summary about the book. It's a guide. It's a guide to anyone that wants to build a successful business, starting from beginning to, to scaling up. So next, I'm going to invite one of Dr. Stephen's products out of many. He's father of many nations that's spread across Silicon Valley. They're in Hong Kong, they're in Dubai. But one of his products, she's doing something well in the social enterprise, angle of what she's doing. Please welcome Ngozi Ndefo, Marvelous. Yeah, I got it. She takes us through the summary of the book.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome once again to this Edustart book launch. Okay, so I'll be taking us through the Edustart book reach summary from what the book is about for us to have an understanding. And this book is made up of 10 chapters written by amiable Dr. Stephen. So the first chapter speaks to the finding yourself. You as an entrepreneur, how can you find yourself? And it speaks more about confidence, building confidence as a crucial ingredient to starting and building a company. And the bulk of that confidence comes from the knowledge and understanding of self, potentials, talent, and gifts. Most of the quickest and best way to start your serious entrepreneurial journey is by starting a business around your skills, talent, and personality. And that speaks to the likes of Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, David Oyedepo, Oprah Winfrey. So this book will help you as an individual to build your capacity. Our next chapter speaks to how do you as an entrepreneur have a mindset, your mindset as an entrepreneur. Speaks about people, systems, government, what can people do for you? And so that makes you capable in terms of what you're able to deliver as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, thinks differently as a result of his mindset, and that is wired to create prosperity from problems. This chapter addresses this and shows you how to cultivate the mindset of an entrepreneur. Chapter 3 speaks to what entrepreneurship is not. So today we have different misconceptions about entrepreneurship. This book elaborates to you the things that you're supposed to have as an understanding of what an entrepreneur should not be. Things like entitlement. It's not about title, it's not about self-employment, having complimentary cards with contact. No, an entrepreneur is someone that is able to think and then act deliberately on whatever he intends to achieve. So this chapter helps you to clarify how to build yourself and then drive an entrepreneurial spirit. The chapter 4 speaks to cultivating entrepreneurial reflexes. This chapter tends to trigger as an entrepreneur to act to develop your capacities and build systems deliberately. In addition, this chapter reviews 5 categorically skills the true entrepreneur needs to cultivate to operate his or her reflexes, such as vision skills, ignition skills, creative skills, enterprise skills, and relation skills. Chapter 5 speaks to value creation. As an entrepreneur starting a new venture, how do you create value to your target audience? How do you spur them to know that what your value proposition is right? And so this chapter helps you to clarify how to create value for your users, your customers, your employees, and your investors. Chapter 6 speaks to opportunity creation. Now, this chapter speaks to how do you provide opportunity? How do you create a venture? How do you show that what you're intending to achieve shows opportunity for your target audience? And the second thing the entrepreneur creates in the process of creating a venture is opportunities. If truly your value is being created, opportunities will be created in the process. Categorically, the opportunities that will be created includes employment opportunity, business opportunities, and market opportunities. This particular chapter shows you through work as an entrepreneur on how to provide opportunities in the space that you find yourself today. Chapter 7 speaks to wealth creation. Now, wealth is a very most important venture in your value as an entrepreneur. It helps you validate the kind of value you provide to your audience and also build a viable and sustainable company. And so this chapter addresses how to collect your money, generate cash flow, and create wealth through building reserves and investing them for sustainability. In addition, this chapter addresses that it is through people that wealth can be scaled. And chapter 8 talks about leadership and team building. Without leadership, you can't govern people. You can't. A great entrepreneur today is one that is able to have the right team. So this chapter shows you how to build, spot out opportunities, take advantage of them to create prosperity. And your ability to do this requires you having core leadership skills, ability to work with people, bring together the right team, build a team and unleash them are crucial to building sustainable businesses. So this chapter addresses the need to cultivate and master the acts of leadership and team building from the mind of an entrepreneur. The last but not the least speaks to innovate or die, which is chapter 9. Innovation is a prevalent language in the knowledge, technology, and digital era which we're in today. And pricing is no longer adequate for you to compete as an entrepreneur. Rather, it's no longer about the game of the biggest, but the game of the fastest. So as an entrepreneur, you rather innovate or you die in your business venture. And for someone that is presently doing something that renders what you're currently doing obsolete, you need to think through and make innovation the culture as an entrepreneur. And the last, which is chapter 10, speaking to going from plans to result. This speaks about how you scale as an entrepreneur. This is not just having to think through on what you intend to do, but achieving it, taking action. Because as an entrepreneur, the only right word you require to fulfill in your venture is go about doing it. Do not wait for it, but just do it. Thank you all.
Awesome, awesome. Can we please put our hands together for Ngozi for that, taking us through the review, the summary of the book. I would like to just ask a question very quickly. Which of the chapters strikes you the most? Which of the chapters of the book strikes you the most? For me, it's innovate or die. Just put it in the chat box section. Let's be sure that everyone is following us. Innovate or die. That caught my attention, you know, where the big is not the one that is doing it now, but the small can also eat the big. Innovate or die. Which of the topics of the book, you know, caught your attention? Let's get some feedback in the chat box section very quickly before we move to the next thing. Keep it coming. Oh, Joshua said innovate or die. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, yes. From plans to results. Innovate or die. Thomas Makinwa said create opportunities. Yes, 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 yes. Let's keep it coming. We'll have more and more. Which of the topics? Shola Kuka says chapter 3 and 10. That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's keep more coming. You know, everybody, I remember that Dr. Stephen had a series on Innovate or Die some couple of years ago. Innovate or die. Sir, it seems like people don't want to die. People don't want to die, you know, innovate or die, man. People saw what happened with Nokia. They saw what happened with BlackBerry. Right here in Nigeria, they saw what happened with Gokada, you know, innovate or die. Awesome, awesome. Most persons, you know, we've seen it. It happens practically even here with local brands. If you don't innovate, and, you know, Dr. Steven, you know, I've been in that session, in that seminar where he was teaching about innovate or die, how you need to keep outsmarting yourself as a business, in your business model, in your operations, not only your product. Don't let me go into that. You should read it in the book. Okay, to keep the ball rolling, yes, everybody's still saying innovate or die. Okay, no. Oh, the mindset of an entrepreneur. Yes, 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 yes. That one too is awesome. I've gone through that chapter. Yeah, that's where it all begins from. Yeah. Okay, great. We're moving to the next phase of this program, and we have one of the things, like, let me quickly share this. One of the things I love about Dr. Stephen is this: when it connects with individual, it connects with the kind of depth that they have. You see that board members of Edustart that you're seeing, it connects with most of them based on the kind of drive and results, most importantly, the vision of such individuals. So he carefully chooses relationship very well. And that's one of the things I appreciate about him. Every single person that you've seen on that list are people who are global. They are global products. They are from here, but they are global products, and he recognizes that. And that's why one of such individuals today is going to keep the ball rolling. I met her far back 2018, and you could see the drive and the passion, which is one of the ingredients of a global entrepreneur. Please welcome with me, Ms. Olaolu. I want to ensure that I call the name very carefully and honorably. Ms. Od. Yes, she. Yes, I'm seeing you again.
Thank you.
Last night I was watching a video when you came to Covenant, and I was walking you through the elevator when you came to mentor the students.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you once again. Thank you. It's really an honor to be here, and it's an honor to be a part of this. Thank you, Dr. Stevens. I was looking at the presentation. I was watching the presentation you made a few minutes ago, and it was like you were lecturing, It was a learning for me as well, and that's really good. And it's that same spirit, it's that same, teaching and helping others grow that we see in the book. So I'll be talking about the book, and then I'll be talking about my entrepreneurial journey a bit, using the book. I know that, starting with the chapters that strike me. So I'm going to talk about chapter 3 that talks about what entrepreneurship is not. Most times when we set out, at least for me, when I set out, I wasn't sure. I just had passion, but I didn't know a lot of other things. And I wish I had something to guide me then. I set out because I was driven, because I felt there was a problem I could solve. I saw a gap. I saw that a lot of entrepreneurs didn't have legal help, and then I decided to start. But I also had a lot of misconceptions. I knew that it was going to be I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I was coming from a well-paid job. So there were a bit of shock, and there was a lot of learning to do on the way. So I'm happy to see that this book lays out practical steps, it goes out of it to debunk some of those myths that we think entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is, I have no regrets on this journey I am doing. If I had to do it again, I would take this step again, only that I'll be taking this step being more aware, being armed with information, having done my research. Most of the research I did was just, hard skills, knowing how to do the work I wanted to do, but not the other benefits, or not all the soft skills that make you become a better entrepreneur. Most of them I learned from mistakes or other people's mistakes and experiences. So, I want to link that to also being mission driven. If you're going to start off, or even whilst you're an entrepreneur, it's very important that you're mission driven, because there will be times, there will be tough times, there will be times where all your projections will crash. An example is the time we find ourselves now. Everything that most of us planned at the beginning of the year isn't what's happening. But you see, what will make you stay put, what will make you not give up, is the fact that you're mission driven, is the fact that that the same, that there will be another time where things will go well, and you're focused on that problem you're trying to solve, knowing that that problem needs a solution from you. The next chapter I would like to talk about, and I really love those 2 chapters, or should I call them 3 chapters, are the value creation, opportunity creation, and wealth creation. We live in a country where unemployment is very, very high. We live in a country that is very underdeveloped. We live in a poor country. I was reading the World Bank report about what's going to happen as a result of this pandemic. And, the reality is it's going to be very tough. There's going to be the unemployment is on the rise. We're hitting almost 50% in terms of unemployment, not to now talk of underemployment. So if you're going to be on this journey as an entrepreneur, as you're on this journey, one of the things you have to think of is what value are you creating? We are the solution to what this country is facing. It's not the government that is going to create jobs. The government may provide infrastructure, but it isn't the government that will create jobs. So as an entrepreneur, as you think about what you want to do, as you create, as you come up with these ideas and start to execute, always have it at the back of your mind. What value am I creating? What opportunities am I creating? Am I creating wealth for other people? The truth is, as an entrepreneur, the journey is not just about you. It's about the problem you're solving, and it's about the many people that you're also, lifting up as you go. So whatever, as you're coming up with your business models, as you're coming up with your plans, your execution plans, you should look at, are you creating opportunities? And there's one phrase that I like from another book I really like, Prosperity Paradox, which talks about market creating innovations. And I see that I see that reflected in this book. What kind of innovations are you making? Are they going to create markets? Are they going to expand to other? Are they going to create jobs for other people? Are they going to create wealth? How many people can you employ? Or how many people can you give a franchise to, or can be your retailer? So those are the things that would lift us as a country out of poverty, to add a bit of faith to it, to add a bit of Christianity. It's like you're a blessing to be a blessing. So as an entrepreneur, it should not be just about yourself, but what value, wealth, and opportunities are you also creating for others? That's how we can spread it, and that's how we can also lift this journey, lift this country out of the current state. And then the last one I would like to talk about is chapter 10 that talks about keep moving. As I said previously, there will be low times. The entrepreneurship journey is like this zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. It's never a straight line. It's never like, it's fiction if you think that it's going to just be, straight on and it's going to be easy. But you have to keep moving. You have to just keep on doing it. You have to be focused. And it's funny that I see that I see a relationship between the last chapter and the first chapter, because for you to keep moving, you have to first have actually been in that mindset. It starts from, why did you get to this? Why did you start this journey? What was your mindset at the beginning of getting into it? Because if you didn't have the right mindset, if you got into this as a result of, oh, it's fashionable to be an entrepreneur, which in these days, or maybe just because you don't have a job, not because you really, if you've not brought yourself to that mindset, then it's most likely that when things get difficult, when the journey comes up with those mountains or those valleys and all, you will not keep moving. And it's so important. Resilience is important. It's one of the most important characteristics of an entrepreneur. Having grit, being resilient, being able to overcome obstacles. There will be obstacles, but you will overcome them. And there's no entrepreneur, there's no successful entrepreneur, whether it is in Nigeria or whether it is anywhere in the globe, that will tell you that it was just, a straightforward journey. People go into bankruptcy. We look at, what's his name now, Virgin in Australia. As rich as Richard Branson is, he's not able to bail out Virgin Australia, and they just declared bankruptcy. It's the government that is bailing them out. This is a very rich man. This is someone that has been on his entrepreneurship journey for years and years. So at every point in time, it's not like maybe you get to a certain place and then everything disappears, but it's your resilience is the reason why you got on this journey, that mindset that you had at the beginning and that you should continue to have, that will let you keep doing. We've had some tough experiences as well. We've had, days when we thought that, especially in the early days, when we could see the end of our bank account, and like, okay, how are we going to pay salary the next month? You could literally see the bottom. And you're like, okay, where will the salary come next month or in 2 months? But, I am grateful that we are where we are today. We don't have to struggle to pay our employees. We don't have to struggle to, through this COVID era, we had no layoffs. We were fortunate not to cut salaries. And it's also part of, the prudence, the things we've learned on the job. We've learned not to just you know, if there's plenty money, let's do this, let's do that. We learned to save for the rainy day. We learned to create exigencies, to know that, okay, we must always have a runway of about 1 year. And that's helped because there was a down, when the pandemic started, there was a downtime, you know, first 2 months, we hardly got any of that. But now we're back to it. But if we had to rely on day-to-day and just revenue, at the beginning, you can't do this. That's the truth. I'm not going to lie to you that when you start a business, you can create, you can have that reserve. That's never going to happen at the beginning. But as you begin to grow, begin to make sure that you're not just spending everything. As you invest, reinvest capital, also have what you're keeping for your reserves for occasions like this, so that you can keep your talent and you can make you can continue going. You know, I look at this pandemic, I tell our clients and customers that for everyone, all you need to do is stay alive through this crisis. It is a crisis we are all facing, but don't die during the crisis. If you can stay alive during the crisis, then you will continue once this passes, because this too shall definitely pass. So thank you very much for the opportunity, for letting me talk about this. Congratulations on writing such an excellent book. I wish you all the best. And of course, we will be supporting you by buying a couple of copies for our customers and our clients. And I will contact you later to talk about how we'll go about this. But thank you very much, and all the best as you continue to do what you do.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is MB. A full in less than 15 minutes from Miss Odolua Longe. Everything well captured, man. Well captured. And what the guide has also provided is full MBA in your hands. Full MBA in your hands. You know, talked about a lot of things. I was able to jot chat box section. He also reminded me of what Mr. Sheya Bolaji will always say, saying that entrepreneurship is, how did he put that again? It's not for sure for something, right? It's real work, it's hard work. And when the road is tough, employees like the end of the month. Entrepreneurs, they find everywhere, they find every means not to look forward to it. So it's like different things like that. So next, we're going to have another amazing Nigerian entrepreneur. And the truth of the matter is this, is that these are all homegrown from different parts. We're going to have our very own homegrown again. One of the son of the soil, you know, he's black, he's a Nigerian. What else? Yeah, like that. And he grew his business right here. And now the business is in 4 other countries, right? So please, ladies and gentlemen, my very own Mr. Olorunseyi Sunday, co-founder of Pertinence Group. He's a humble man, but he's got a lot of stuff. Mr. Olorunseyi, you're welcome all the way from Canada.
All right, thank you, Damilare. Just like people will say, you are doing well. All right, Dr. Stephen, I'm glad to be with you today. I really want to celebrate grace in your life. And I must say, what you're doing is not just for now, it's for posterity, because even when you are long gone, the seeds you have sown in people will keep speaking. The investment is huge. I know it requires a lot to keep going with this vision, but I know definitely that God will make it easy for you, and He will send people to work with you to make this vision a reality. So I celebrate you. Thank you very much for this platform.
Thank you.
I appreciate all other panelists, but the lady that just spoke to us and others that will come on board later. Thank you for honoring Dr. Stephen, and to all our participants, shout out to you. Yeah, now making the next multi-billion-dollar business in Africa. Wow, that resonates with me. You made the work easy for me because I'm going through excerpts from the book, I discovered that you have captured everything. Just like Damilare said, this is good for a mini MBA. Because what I've come to realize about people starting businesses today is that they start without having the practical tips that, that you require to succeed in business. I've seen people that went to the university and have MBAs, and yet it has no reflection in their approach to business. Don't get me wrong, I'm an MBA too. So I'm just trying to say we're in the age where we need more of practicals than theory. And that's why you can be a professor of business and yet you can be given a barber shop to manage and it will fail. So it has nothing to do with how much academic certificate you have acquired, but it has more to do with that entrepreneurial instinct. And a lot of things have been shared here. So I want to discuss around that, even though I'll just be putting little stories within the next 10 minutes. You know, the first chapter talked about purpose and self-discovery. And I tell you, that is the foundation for wealth creation. That is the foundation for building the next multi-billion-dollar businesses in Africa. The easiest way for you to become wealthy is to find what you love doing and get people to pay you to do that thing. So to others, it is work, but to you, it is pleasure. You love doing it, you enjoy doing it. Even if you don't get paid, you'll be busy doing the same thing. Once you are able to identify that thing, you have set yourself up for wealth creation, for value creation, and to be part of those that will build the next billion-dollar businesses or million-dollar businesses in Africa. For example, I went to school, interestingly, my first degree is in microbiology. I think I was in part 2 in the university when I discovered that I have no business studying microbiology. Though I didn't drop out, unlike I know some other people would have dropped out of school. I told myself I'm still going to, I'll go ahead. Even though I was at part year 2, I knew I had nothing doing with microbiology. But I completed the course. That's why I went ahead after to enroll in courses. I have 2 masters today and all in the area of business and management. And interestingly, I'm on the 3rd one. People just wonder, I'm not in the academics, but I just enjoy these things. And you get to understand why I enjoy that environment later. So for me, finding yourself. So as at that point, I discovered I had a clear picture of my identity, because people don't celebrate when you do things that others are doing. What people celebrate about you is your uniqueness. What makes you different from others? That's what people celebrate. So you must be passionate about discovering who you are and being clear about it. Now, the next chapter talked about the mindset of an entrepreneur. And I would just like to say this, you know, Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers, will say, for him, making $1 million was the easiest thing that ever happened to him. But the greatest challenge was finding it difficult to believe that I could make $1 million. Now, there's something about the mindset of an entrepreneur. It's the mindset of unlimited thinking. Every success you will ever achieve starts from the mind. It is first within, then without. So it means if your mind cannot capture it, it will be very difficult for you to see it in reality. So it starts with the mind. So you must picture yourself building the next multi-billion-dollar business. It starts with the mind. If your mind cannot capture it, then you can't make it happen. So I want to challenge every one of us as entrepreneurs. Don't limit your dream to just building a business, being able to afford the quality of life that you desire. You have a house, you have a car. No, you should think of how you want to create many other businesses. Let your own business be a foundation for other businesses to rise. And that was the kind of picture I had starting out in business. And that's why today, the businesses I run, we have had people from those businesses go start their own businesses, and a number of them doing exceptionally well. 2019, I was privileged to go and commission not less than 6 businesses of guys that were working with my organization and decided to go start. Now, the interesting thing is that every one of them, they are doing exceptionally well because they left with a template that we designed, and that's what they are operating with. And because the template has no respect for location, has no respect for age, has no respect for race, wherever you are, if you have this template and you run with it, you will definitely succeed. So we created an environment where people can copy and paste. You know, there's nothing bad in copying and paste. Just ensure you copy right. That's what is important. So we created that environment and people have been living, and it's always my joy to go open their businesses, and they are doing exceptionally well. But it starts with the mind. You must be willing to take that big risk. Now, the next chapter talked about what entrepreneurship is not. And I love this so much because earlier in my journey of entrepreneurship, I was able to crack that code. I got to the realization of who an entrepreneur is and who an entrepreneur is not. Now, listen to me. Many people out there that parade themselves as entrepreneurs are not really entrepreneurs. They are just self-employed. Yes. A world of difference between who a self-employed person is and who an entrepreneur is. A self-employed person, when any business that person starts, we always require that person for the business to run. So if you are listening to me right now and the business run, your business system or model is designed around you such that if you are not available, business will not run, then you are just a self-employed person, because anything that happens to you affects the business. So if the self-employed person gets sick, the business is sick. If it travels, the business travels. Whatever happens to the self-employed person. Today, I'm able to build a number of businesses, and all of these businesses running at the same time without my deliberate or my direct involvement in the business. A number of brands that we have built today run independent of me, simply because I had that clear picture of who an entrepreneur is. And from the early stage, I started investing in building systems that does not depend on me. So that's why things can move whether I'm there or not. So I challenge you today, you need that mindset of an entrepreneur. You need to be conscious so that you will not engage in multiple streams of struggles, thinking you are generating multiple streams of income. There's difference between multiple streams of struggles and multiple streams of income. If everything you do requires you to run, even if you are making money, that's multiple streams of struggle. You must create systems that can run independent of you. And that's what we are challenging guys working with us to understand. Don't let it be around you. Don't celebrate the fact that you work somewhere and nobody can do what you are doing. You're already a failure. You are just waiting to happen. Whatever you are doing that cannot be replicated. So the next one talked about cultivating entrepreneurial reflexes. That is very germane. Now, one of the greatest strengths of an entrepreneur is ability to make the right decisions. And making the right decisions has to do with your capacity to sense and interpret disruptions. Very, very important. As an entrepreneur, if you don't grow your capacity to sense and interpret disruptions, you just discover that the rate of change outside, that is the marketplace, is beginning to exceed the rate of change inside, which is your business. And you know, just like Jack Welch said, he said, once that rate of change outside exceeds the rate of change inside, the end is near. You are about to go into extinction. So as an entrepreneur, you must be deliberate about cultivating those reflexes. For us in business, that's part of what has helped so much. We are able to sense disruption and begin to do things. Now, at various phases, every phase of the business that we have experienced, there are always challenges that comes with it. Now, each time we are faced with these challenges, what we are trying to do is not just to solve the challenge, but to think of how to solve tomorrow's problems today. So while we are busy trying to solve the immediate challenge, we are thinking what other challenges can come out of this so we can solve it before we get there. Now, listen to me, the crisis we are in the world today, the global pandemic, it's such that many people are complaining about now. But it might interest you to know that the pandemic did not have any, as in strong adverse effect on our businesses, because we never knew pandemic would come, but we started thinking of how to solve tomorrow's problems today. And about 2 years ago, we committed seriously to growing our business through technology platforms. We started investing in technology. It cost us so much to the point that we had to even set up a tech company so that it would be easier for us, because we discovered most of the things that we tried doing remotely weren't working. There were a number of disappointments. So we had to set up a tech company. And with that, things has been moving seamlessly. So while people were busy complaining during the pandemic, we were busy curating new products and services that can add value to our company. So I just want to move past value creation. That is very, very key. Now, coming into business as an entrepreneur, there is this popular notion that you are out to make profit. To be sincere, the shortcut to becoming wealthy is becoming an entrepreneur. It's shortcut, but I must tell you, very challenging, but I will tell you, very rewarding. If you're out there and you are looking at creating wealth, you must think entrepreneurship, no doubt about that. If you are employed, no matter how much you are being paid, no employer has employed you to make you rich. I'm an employer, and I can tell you, I've been an employee and I'm an employer today. No employer has employed you to make you rich. Becoming wealthy is your personal responsibility. But you know, for an entrepreneur, it's not just about you, it's about people. I'll get to talk about that as I begin to wind down. Now, you must be conscious of that no employer has employed you to make you rich. So you must be deliberate about creating, creating wealth. Now, I would like to leave that because of time. The next thing we have in that book, we have value creation, then we have opportunity creation. I want to talk about those two together. It has to do with solving problems. Just matching it with what I was talking about earlier enough, I discovered that it's not just about making profit, but it's also about solving problems. So the more problems you solve, the more money you make. If you solve local problems, you make local money. If you start solving global problems, you start making global money. So as an entrepreneur that wants to come to the limelight in Africa today, you must be conscious. For example, during this pandemic, people are busy complaining about how things are not working. For the smart entrepreneurs, they are looking for the opportunities in this pandemic. For example, the speaker that came up before me talked about how that unemployment and underemployment will be on the rise as a result of this pandemic. To a smart entrepreneur, that's an opportunity. I realized that, and rather than withdraw during this pandemic, I started creating more businesses. I started opening businesses because I know there are a number of people that will be out of job and they will be willing to fill those spaces that I'm creating. So as an entrepreneur, think opportunity, even in the midst of calamities. Now, talking about leadership and team building, I think for me, that's one of the greatest strengths of everything that I've ever done. People, people, people. The consciousness of why I'm in business is that I'm in a business to also help other people grow. Now, when we started business, we wanted to make money just like every other entrepreneur. But listen to me, the more we struggled, it looked as if things were getting more difficult. So we needed to crack that code. And as the custom is, I have a partner in business, Wisdom Ezekiel, that we started the Pertinence Group together. And we always go for a retreat once every 3 weeks, just for reflection, for reviews, then to re-strategize. And early in the business, we discovered that the efforts we're making to become wealthy won't work until we change our thinking. And from that point, we started thinking about how to make other people wealthy. So as an entrepreneur, don't just focus on creating wealth for yourself. Focus on creating wealth for other people. So we came up with this, that if we can make 10 people, 50 people millionaires, there is no way we will not be a millionaire. So our focus and emphasis in business from that point was people. And up to now, it's still people. So we started focusing on how to raise people. So we invested so much in raising people. It wasn't looking profitable at the outset. But today, I think we are reaping the fruit so much. So as an entrepreneur, don't go alone. You know, they say if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with a team, go with people. So you must be conscious of that. For us, that helped us grow our business very fast, because today we are able to start a number of businesses and we have ready people to fill those spaces because we were committed to investing in people. Innovate or die. Interestingly, so a number of people commented on that, saying that's the part of the book that they love most. Sincerely, you don't have a choice. Even if you don't love that part, COVID-19 has come to prove to you that if you are not innovating, you're going to extinction. And that is very, very important. So all your business models must be centered around technology. Because if we talk about innovation today, one of the strongest area of innovation is digital transformation. And it's more like there's nothing you can do in this century without aligning yourself with digital transformation. So you must be deliberate about it. And just like I shared earlier, today our business is on the global space because of technology. I've been out of Nigeria for over 4 months now, and yet revenue did not go down. No crisis whatsoever, everything running seamlessly. In fact, we have generated more results in the midst of this pandemic than we have even done before the pandemic. So that's the power of innovating. Very interesting. I started a business in the midst of this pandemic, and you'll be shocked by the kind of returns already coming in. It's simple. Innovation consciousness. Be deliberate about it. Be deliberate. And finally, going from plans to results. You know, no matter how good your strategy, execution is key. The art of every strategy is execution. So all of the things that I've shared, I will tell you, if you ask me, what is the greatest characteristics that an entrepreneur needs to succeed? I will tell you, risk-taking. Because if you know everything and you don't take that step, it will remain in your head. You need to take that step. You need to make that move. So an entrepreneur is always thinking of movement. It's good to analyze, it's good to plan, but as you are strategizing, you must break it into milestones and ensure that you are moving from one phase to another in building your businesses. Now, like I said, Dr. Stephen has made the journey very easy. Getting this book solves it already. I see the next generation of global entrepreneurs being raised just by being a part of what Edustart is doing. It's powerful, and I want to encourage every one of us listening to me right now to get a copy of this book. Now, as someone that has been in business for a number of years now, I will say that this book is not just good for the now, it's also good for the future. Like I said, one of the traits of an entrepreneur is solving tomorrow's problems today. And that's part of what this book is doing for us. So having a copy of it will not just help you solve the present challenges going on with you in your business, but it will also help you to solve future challenges. Definitely, I wouldn't know how much a copy will cost, but I think the least I want to have is 100 of this book. So regardless of how much it is going for, so Dr. Steve, you have my word, a minimum of 100 copies of this book, because I want to give at least 100 people this book. It will be my pleasure. So for every one of us that, every participant we have on the platform and those that will later get to listen to this, I really want to recommend that you get a copy of this book. Now, listen to me. There is no value that you can place on information. If you say you buy a book for even $10,000. If the book, the value inside that book can create for you far more than the $10,000. So I want to encourage everyone listening right now, please ensure you get a copy of this book. For me, it's a life-changing book. It's a book I want to read over and over and over and over again. It's a book that you can always go to, because it's not all the time that you are available to sit down for long lectures, to attend meetings. You just need to refresh your mind from time to time. So when you pick books like this, you just pick 1 or 2 chapters, look at them, and you are in the office, and it affects your decision making and many other things around you. So on this note, I will want to stop. I want to say a very big thank you again to Dr. Stephen for this platform, and to all of our participants. Thank you very much to the panelists. I appreciate you all, and I trust that with Edustart, we will be able to raise the next generation of global billionaires by God's grace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, can we all put our hands together for Mr. Olorunsheyi Sunday? You know, he just with 100 copies of this book, 7 to bless 100 entrepreneurs. I told you that there are people who don't only think about themselves, but they are thinking about other people and the world at large. And that's how global people, that's what they do, that's how they think. So if you're here and you're hearing from amazing entrepreneurs like this who have gone through the days of Abacha in business, the days of Abacha in business, they have seen the Ogunabele, they have seen everything, and they relate powerfully with this book. This to show you that, you know, this is really, really an amazing book. Thank you, Mr. Olorunsheyi Sunday, for taking us through. You can see that he can relate every single story of his entrepreneurial journey to the book that Dr. Stephen has put together. And at the end of the day, he said he's going to bless 100 entrepreneurs. If you are a real entrepreneur and you're in this house today, they should not be using this book to bless you. You should bless yourself with this book. So don't think that you're going to be looking at him and say you for investment into building a global business yourself. Buy the book, keep it in your own personal museum. So that you can share this. I would like, before we continue, I would like to recognize the presence of Professor Sunday Adebisi. He is the Director of Entrepreneurship, University of Lagos. Professor Sunday Adebisi, thank you for gracing this event. Thank you for gracing this event. Thank you for coming. We love you, and thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're making history. Today we are expanding the landscape of building working on building a global landscape for entrepreneurship for the world. Why do we need entrepreneurship? We need more entrepreneurs to help build more businesses that will help grow our GDP and reduce unemployment. Before now, entrepreneurship or you have gone through what Dr. Stephen has put together is years of practical experience that professional, I call them professional entrepreneurs and global entrepreneurs can relate with and say, yes, this is it. So if you are here today, please kindly visit the Edustart platform. We are displaying the account on your screen right now. You can see what we're sharing and go and pick a copy. You are also part of those who is contributing to this landmark event of raising 50,000 entrepreneurs I'm multiplying that by 5 employees each. That's 1.5 million jobs to be created and a lot of innovation. Wonderful thing that we're doing so that you can share testimony and say, even at the point of growing as a business person, as a young person or as someone that wants to contribute to a global phenomenal project, you stretch a hand into this project and you see the lives of people that will be transformed through this. So next, we have one of our big whips in the house, you know, Mr. Israel Oviri. Mr. Israel Oviri is a very humble man to the core. He's also a son of the soil. Mr. Israel is going to wow you. See, I've been waiting for this session. Mr. Israel is going to wow you, man. You gotta learn and learn and learn from this man. Mr. Israel, let me share with you a secret. My last encounter with Dr. Stephen in your office. You were drawing a map for us on your board, and you were talking the kind of numbers that you were calling, sir. They were shaking my destiny. They were big numbers that I've not heard anyone around me call in a very long time. I was like, this man is not relating. This man doesn't know my income. He doesn't know. The numbers you were calling were very high. You were apologizing to us that you were mentioning, you were saying dollars too much in the thousands and millions. But what I did for me that day was this, that it is possible. You just need to expand your mindset. And I left that day challenged. You showed us all the businesses you've created, even the ones that failed. In the midst of the ones that failed, you were creating new ones. And I was like, yes, this is what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, if you are here, Mr. Israel Overi, CEO, BankLink Africa.
Thank you very much, Damilare.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, viewers. First of all, let me appreciate my friend, my brother, and also my mentor, Dr. Steve Oluwatobi. I want to say that you may not know you are my mentor, but you have also mentored me.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much for the privilege. Let me quickly congratulate you and all of us, including myself, okay, in the Edustart Foundation for the launch of the book, which is the first, I believe is the first in this series, the Edustart REACH. And I want to start by saying that this book is highly recommended, not just to students, but to entrepreneurs wherever you are located all over the world. It's also recommended to entrepreneurs who have started this journey. Like I always say, entrepreneurship is a journey that has a beginning and has no end. If you know the mind of the mindset of an entrepreneur, we just keep creating and creating and creating. And that quickly brings me to the question in the book summary, wherein you did mention which of the chapters in this book has inspired us, including what has inspired me. What has inspired me is about three, in fact, the entire chapters, but more specifically 3 of the chapters, which is chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7. And why is this so exciting to me and to my mind, invigorating? It's the fact that you, in putting this book together, you have just made all of us to realize the fact that as entrepreneurs, we are creators. That's who we are. And I tell you, we are creators of what may currently be existing, but it's not right, or what doesn't exist at all. We bring it forth. It's like saying we have the mind of God. You know, we let those things that be not as though they are. And that brings me to quickly to what my brother Sunday Olorunseyi did mention. And I say that in every entrepreneurial forum that I'm privileged to be invited to say that you cannot be an entrepreneur, a manager, and a technician. Once you combine those 3 together, you are not an entrepreneur, you are a self-employed person. That means if you have to run your business in such a way that any of the business you have created in such a way that if you are not physically present, that business cannot run without you. So you don't have a business. What you have is that you have a job. And that brings me to the fact that being an entrepreneur implies that you are an entrepreneur, you are a visionary, you are a creator. That's who you are. So, but for you to bring to life, just like the Bible says, the heaven belongs to the Lord, And the earth, he has given it to the sons of men to go and solve the problems. So what we do as entrepreneurs essentially is to create what is existing and make it better, or what does not exist, we bring it to life. So as an entrepreneur, to the best of my mind, we are most of the time we are concerned about the future. Show me an entrepreneur and I tell you just okay. I once attended this, that sometimes we just follow up to what, when you came to my office, you noticed that to the end, from the beginning of my discussion with you to the end of that discussion, you noticed that I was just going on and on and on. Why? Because as an entrepreneur, I'm just a daydreamer. In a day, averagely, or in a week, I might probably have created like 15 different businesses. Okay, but this is because I'm not concerned just about the present, but I'm thinking more about the future. Now, to bring that to life, I need managers, both internal and external managers, and I also need technicians. Now, my managers are going to help me to get concerned with the present, for which I am not present as an entrepreneur, because I'm a futurist. I just keep thinking about what will come in the future. And what the manager does for me every day, whether they are internal, whether they are external, like a Deloitte or a PwC, or any of the consulting firms that I bring together, they are my external managers. Okay, and the managers I will hire, they are concerned about the present and the past for me. But more importantly, in making sure that the dream come alive, are technicians. These are people who every day of their life, they are just concerned about the present, about the routine things that happens. I couldn't have achieved some of the few things I've achieved in my life without my drivers, without my personal assistants, without my secretaries, without my coders, without my developers. These are people who are concerned more about the present. They do it day and night. That's what they keep doing, they keep replicating. So I'm just saying that as an entrepreneur, you cannot bring it to life without managers and technicians. So more importantly, what has excited me about this book, inspired me mostly, is the fact that you have made me and many other entrepreneurs, and those who are entrepreneurs, who wants to be entrepreneurs, that we are visionaries. We just keep dreaming. But in dreaming this out, we must realize the fact that we are creators, we are creating a future. And we are also doing something, more importantly, we are creating values. So when somebody asks me what is value, value is we are just creating solutions. That's what we are doing every day. And whatever we bring together, we raise $1 million, we raise $100 million. Whatever we are doing is towards a race, bringing to life a solution that does not exist, or a solution that currently exists and we are trying to make it better, faster, and so on and so forth. Now, we are also creating opportunities, and that's what the book is all about in chapter 6, saying that we are creating opportunity for employment. We are creating opportunity for new businesses. Okay, my company, Bank Africa, were privileged over the last, since 2010 up to 2016-17, we funded transactions in excess of about $1.4 billion in this market. So that don't mind me when I say this, because that's the rate for private equity investment, okay? All right, so when we did that, something occurred to me. In 2007, before the federal government promulgated the Local Content Act, some of us saw that whether we like it or not, that act to ensure that Nigerians participate actively in the oil and gas space become real. So we saw it ahead and we started selling it to the banks. Now, in the process of selling it to the banks, one of the few things I started doing was I knew that most of the banks that were consolidated were not consolidated. In other words, they were consolidated in terms of assets, but they don't have the liquidity. And you know, you can't get the business done if you don't have liquidity. Liquidity is the cash flow. So we started selling paper. So I started helping Nigerian banks to convert whatever is the dream of an entrepreneur, taking the paper and asking the bank to put their seal on it. Once the bank can put their seal on it, we can raise cash all day long, okay, elsewhere in the world. So don't mind, that's like discussing financial engineering. That's not what we are discussing here. What I'm discussing is to emphasize the fact that we created businesses. And I will tell you this, many of my friends who ended up having tank farm storage facilities all over the country, in 2007-8 never dreamt about it. That overnight, between 2009 up to 2015, you know how many tank farms sprang up in Apapa, in Ogun State, in Delta, in Edo, in River State, in Cross River State? Those were not existing. But when we came in, that opportunity started and people felt, oh, I could actually access funds, and those dreams came alive. And finally, by saying we are, from the point of view of an entrepreneurial mindset of being a creator, we also recognize the fact that we do more, what is more important. And what is it? We create wealth. You know, when people talk about creation of wealth, I have questions. What is the point in having a dream, creating job, and we have not multiplied the $1, the $1, the $100, the $10 million, the $100 million that investor threw in a business? So that is why, as a person, in recent times, I have been preaching the fact that most businesses that we are building are in Edustart, or that we are asking people to build, must be exponential businesses. Okay, must be businesses that we can be able to deliver a 10x, an 100x, or a 1000x of whatever we are throwing in. So it's like input and output. And you see, there is a book, many of us must have read it. It says execution is everything. That means it's not enough to have the dream or the ideas. The way you execute, putting together systems and processes is very important. But I always say this, for me, what is everything is not just execution, it is your valuation. For me, valuation is it. Because I asked somebody a question, how did overnight Yahoo, BlackBerry became worth less than $1 billion, when a Facebook, okay, that just started in 2005, 2006, 2007, overnight, came up to about $1 trillion evaluation. So where am I going? What I'm saying in essence is that there's money everywhere. Let me say it again. There's money and funds everywhere, but the monies are looking for the best ideas and the best guys who can execute. Because it's only when you can execute that you can truly deliver value in terms of wealth to your investors. Not everybody that wants to put 10,000 in the business is looking forward to collect 1 million. Okay, 10,000 naira they want to put in the business, they want to collect 1 million naira in another 1 year or 2 years or 3 years if possible. So we are essentially on earth to build, to create, and to increase wealth. And that's why I'm sure in the scriptures, the Bible said it very clearly that the profit of the earth, that means the wealth of the earth, is not just for few, it's for all. But how come we do not have multi-billion-dollar businesses in Africa like we have in the West, in America and in Europe? What is wrong? Is it that we do not know how to execute, or we do not know how to move forward, or we are not creators? Of course we are creators. Of course we know how to proceed. But what Edustart is trying to do in this marketplace is to avoid the pitfalls okay, in terms of my age, okay? Many of us in our lifetime wants to see a student of Covenant University, like the guys in Softcon, wake up one morning and they have more than 6 companies in Softcon that are worth more than $5 million in valuation. That's what I want to see in my lifetime. But if that's going to happen, we need to realize the fact that there are ways to go about it. And I'm sure going through Edustart REACH will illuminate our mind to the level that we begin to recognize and feel that the whole essence of all the struggles, of all what we are trying to build, of all the system and processes we are putting together, of all the input that are coming in, is for us to build wealth and to build massive wealth. I asked someone, when WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook, WhatsApp was not worth up to $10 billion. But Facebook paid $22 billion for WhatsApp. Now, many of us believe that Instagram is more valuable even than WhatsApp. How come Facebook acquired Instagram for $2 billion? It is an issue of timing. Okay? It's purely an issue of timing. If Facebook didn't move on time to acquire WhatsApp, I'm sure one day WhatsApp will have woken up and acquire Facebook. So the opportunities ahead of us in Africa is for us to go back to our institutions, is to build the ecosystem that will deliver multi-billion-dollar businesses here. Now, most of the companies we have in our stock exchanges, especially in Nigeria and across Africa, we have observed through some various work and enlightenment, we have seen that many of our companies in our stock exchanges are highly undervalued. There's a company we are working, we are working for. The company should be going to the market to raise about $700 million in another 6 months from now. They are still doing their paperwork and other things. As I speak to you, that company has a valuation of about 1.8 billion naira. If that company was listed on NASDAQ, that company cannot have a valuation, from what we can see, of less than $2 to $3 billion. What is the issue? We do not realize the fact that we are beginning to shift from having capitalism without capital. The new capitalists will not be capitalists who have a lot of physical assets, tangible assets. There will be those who are operating with a lot of assets that are intangible. And those intangible assets are also assets that were created by entrepreneurs. So I would like to conclude by saying that the opportunities for us in Africa, the challenges we have in Africa, the problems we have in Africa are calling on entrepreneurs from every level, from the universities, from the streets. I saw some few inventions some days back. I shared that with Dr. Oluwatobi, and I said, if this invention took place in America, I can tell you that these boys have just become billionaires in Naira. And what is the issue? Because we do not have an invention management, a patent management ecosystem here, which right now, between Edustart, one of our new companies, University Capital, and some other institutions, we are trying to see how we work this out. Because what we don't work, we never work. Thank you very much, Doc, for the opportunity, and congratulations, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, can we please put our hands together for Mr. Israel, Mr. Israel now. Yes, you're a doctor. I remember.
Just to forget, so that I do not forget. I will have kept quiet regarding this. I will also take 100 copy of this for 250,000 naira. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, good. Great. Guys. I told you when we started, like, you're going to be hearing a lot of numbers that will make your bank account shake. Man, and he's just trying to be humble as the best as it can, you know, trying to be as humble. But that was very deep. If you follow the statement very well of Mr. Israel, he was not talking about things of today. He was not speaking from a myopic level. He was talking about global things. He was talking about inclusion, about us. You know, he was talking about Africa, and he was seeing opportunities in a lot of the problems that we have in our continent. And what we have done through the Edustart REACH project is that we want to take action. We don't want to talk about this anymore. And he's sitting on the board of this program, and he's part of this. So if you're here today, not only about getting the book and being part of this project, I think you should also be part of this family. Testimonies are going to be coming in the next 1 year, 2 years, about the great things that we'll be doing. Like I said at the beginning of this program, every great thing used to start this small, and they will just keep going there. I'm seeing us, you know, all around the world preaching this gospel, and, you know, this program going everywhere. Thank you so much, Mr. Israel, for what you're doing. Thanks for looking back to help as many young entrepreneurs like us grow. Thanks for that inspiration that you provide. And, you know, with you on this board and with what you want to do is also donating a lot of these books to people. Like I've said, if you're a serious entrepreneur that you're here, you're not one of those that they're donating books to. You should take your own destiny. It's one of the ways to show that you're committed, you're zealous about what you're doing. Get your own copy today. How do you get your copy? Please check the link that we'll have in the chat box section, where you can go and place your order. Remember that you are also empowering the project that is that is cultivating next generation of entrepreneurs, 50,000 entrepreneurs for the continent, 50,000 entrepreneurs that will be creating jobs. Edustart.global/the-next-billion. We're intentional about it. You can hear the numbers that our board is calling. So, and these are not numbers on paper, these are numbers in reality. So I heard you very well when you were saying in million and billion dollars again, and I'm holding up to it. Yes, I'm going to be testifying soon. Thanks. Most of the words you shared the last time that I was with you, you know, I'm using them right now in the little business that we're doing, and we've been doing amazingly well. Right now, everyone, it is time for us to take action. Remember, what you hear don't transform you. The actions that you take from what you hear are the ones that do. People have used 7 years, 21 years, 18 years of experience, and they've all packaged it together in a book that you can read in about 2-3 days. If you're serious about it, in a couple of hours. You don't have to learn from your own mistakes. You can learn from the mistakes of others. That will allow you to work faster, and that will allow you to speed up. And that's what the Edustart REACH book is all about. Pick up this book and begin to digest it. I want you to take action right now and visit the link. It's in the chat box. It's in the chat box. Yes, they just dropped it again. You can order. And note that from each book that you're ordering today and you're getting possession of, you are donating to raising the next 50,000 entrepreneurs for our continent. We want to create a future where we'll have as many entrepreneurs as possible. We'll be creating jobs and helping our GDP, solving most of our fundamental problems in energy, in agriculture, helping our unemployment, helping poverty and hunger, malnutrition, in all forms that we encounter. That's what business is. That's what they do, and that's what they're all about. So please, you're going to permit me to invite, you know, another big player. I respect this man a lot. Right from my first encounter with him, he has always been speaking global. And he's also humble. I don't know one thing about all these billionaires, you know, the kind of billionaires that I have now, they're not the ones that make noise online and make noise on Instagram because they're stealing money from 1.9 million people. These are people who are doing legit business and they don't even make noise. Why? Because they are busy with the work they are doing. I'm not sure he has up to 5,000 followers on Instagram. So they don't have, but their account is strong. Those are the kind of businesses we want you to build, not businesses that will be making noise online and account will be dry. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one of the purest heart in business and in entrepreneurship. One of the things I love about this humble man is he'll tell you the way it is. You know, he will tell you the way it is, and he's always honest and as much as possible being true with his word. Please welcome. I just want him to, you know, join his voice to what we're doing. one of the global shakers of entrepreneurship for me in Nigeria, Mr. Abolaji. He is the co-founder of one of the amazing drinks, the LDS drink, as I will call it, that will have Wilson lemonade juice. Mr. Abolaji, I know he's not expecting this, yeah, but I want him to have his voice.
Wow, this is powerful. Good morning. I thank all of you. I've been inspired already. I've been taking notes all morning. It's great. I appreciate the opportunity to even be a part of this. You know, having met Dr. Stephen some years ago, one thing that really struck me is, and why I've hung on to his coattails is the fact that I believe he understands what education is, the purpose of education. And this book, this movement, is just an extension. Is one way of demonstrating the understanding of education, which I believe is about creating value and striving to add real value and make real impact. Not so much about certificates and qualifications. And going through the chapters, I'm hearing, I'm not surprised by the network that he has and the words that other speakers have been saying. Two things real quick, I'll be really short, that really jumped out at me as I was listening. And I'm really excited about the book and this movement is two things, right? Purpose and self-discovery. And, I've been saying it for a while and, just reaffirmed by the words of the other speakers is, your differences is what distinguishes you, and being proud to be different and finding value and creating value in yourself and knowing that, that is what makes you valuable, is how you're different, and adding value through your differences and not competing with other people, but truly doing your own thing, and creating your own lane, and therein lies the value. That's one, and the second is mindset. As I was listening, it's like you have three distinct personalities, three very different distinct personalities, but there's one common denominator is the mindset, of seeing opportunities, of seeing something better, as opposed to dwelling on whatever it is that's right in front of them. No matter how good it is, there's always a better. The book I'm currently reading is called Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes. And it's so powerful. And I really believe, I've been saying it for a while, that like there's no pride in entrepreneurship. There's no shame in employment. It's all about where do you create the most value? Where are you going to add the most value? And it comes from the mindset, and being very intentional about knowing you have a gift and knowing your wealth comes through sharing your gift. You'll keep a portion of everything you share, but you need to find your own gift and share it. And, just one example, during all this COVID, this period, I came into the year with very different plans than what I'm executing right now. And the one thing that's allowed me to, stay focused and stay grounded during this period is last year, a couple of years ago, I said, what exactly is it that I'm doing in Nigeria? And I was very intentional. I wrote it out and I edit it. I go over it. I try to go over it every day. And when this changes or it becomes clearer and clearer, I define it. And the 6 things, I just wanted to share that. And just, all of us are on different journeys, but the common denominator is we're all trying to add value. And I think it's important that everybody understands their why behind whatever it is that they're doing. So yeah, one, create communities, right? This is the purpose of my work in Nigeria and what we're doing through Wilson's Juice Company and other businesses. And if I have time, I'll talk about the opportunity that we've seen through this period. Very non-tech, low-tech, very basic, and will be of value to 95, 97% of Nigerians that aren't tech savvy. Anyway, the purpose of my work in Nigeria, number one is to create communities of entrepreneur-minded young Africans committed to adding value before expecting rewards, right? We are mission-driven, profit-conscious, disciplined, and full of integrity. Number one. Number two, create better leaders. And I believe this is a huge part of this movement and this book. You know, it's building a highly disciplined and organized culture where teaching and providing opportunities while teaching and providing opportunities to exercise leadership. Number three, create or inspire creativity, building self-worth, self-respect, and self-reliance in young people while encouraging them to add value, develop, and trade with their unique skills, gifts, and abilities. Number four, creating brands via products, experiences, and services people love and aspire to be a part of. Number five, train and develop young women leaders. And you know, this came up from experiences that we realized that it was actually the young women that are working with us that are flourishing, that are thriving. And the thing that we realized is not about, it was just about providing the opportunity and then backing it with the confidence that your gender has nothing to do with your success. Success is an equal opportunity employer, you know. And we realized that once we, you know, just kind of reminded them and encouraged them that, hey, like, there is no limit to your success. They've been thriving, they've been flourishing. So it's part of my mission here to, you know, empower and encourage and train more women leaders. All right, so creating opportunities where young women are able to exercise, grow, and maximize their leadership skills through the running of for-profit business enterprises. That's a direct link to the opportunity that came up for us through this period. And then finally is building generational wealth, you know, being financially wealthy in my youth. And that was the last one, that was the sixth one, that was the last one. And it's very, very selfish. And I realized that, you know, part of what keeps me going is, you know, the rest is about what I'm doing for people. The last part is, hey, what am I keeping for myself? What am I trying to build for myself, for my family? And I think being very conscious of and aware of the why behind everything that I'm doing has been able to, you know, keep me positive and I keep my eyes, the physical and the spiritual eyes, wide open to the opportunities that this period presents. You know, and that, you know, just kind of falls directly in with the, you know, the mindset. And the mindset is not necessarily the mindset of an entrepreneur, but the mindset of a creator or of a value adder, which, you know, I'm just very conscious of. Not everybody is supposed to be an entrepreneur, but everybody, if they're thinking entrepreneurially, is just about adding value. And I'm excited to read this book. I'm excited to be part of this movement. I'm humbled by the opportunity that the invitation presented to me. I'm inspired by the different voices I've heard already today. And yeah, let me keep it short. Self-discovery and mindset. Those are two powerful things that that I've seen already and I've heard already through this, and I really am, you know, committing myself to trying to add value through those two particular aspects. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Shea. Thank you. Can we please put our hands together for him? Can we please put our hands together for him for that amazing point? If you listen, yes, that was the quote I was looking for at the beginning of this presentation. There is no pride in entrepreneurship, and there is no shame in being employed. Find where you can add the most value. That's very, very important and key, because most young people use unemployment as the alternative for entrepreneurship. It takes more than that. That can take you far because you need the grit and the passion when all roads are down. So please, thanks to everyone that is taking action already. We can see you at the back end here, thanks to technology. So I'm monitoring everyone. Technology has given me the opportunity to be a monitoring spirit. So I can monitor. So I don't want to be mentioning names yet, but I'm checking the back end, man, and I can see what's happening there. So please go and take action. It's very important. You've heard from great speakers today, people who have proof, who have evidence, who have done this for a very long time, and they can well relate with this book. They're saying if this book was there when they were starting, they would have gone much more further than that. And you're just about to start, or you're presently in the journey. We're saying you can begin right, you can begin well, and you can speed up. I know the elders that have gone ahead of me, you know, you heard the kind of figures that they are calling, and I'm still small and new in business. I'm running a tech startup to here, a prop tech company in Lagos named Rovest. and I'm going to be supporting this, through in a very small way, right? I'm going to get a copy for myself and my team. Don't worry about that. But I want to do it in a little bit different so that it shows that I'm humble, right? And I like to directly, I like when people are taking things very seriously. So here's my offer. You see this nice hoodie that I'm wearing? This is made by one of the students that Dr. Steven, assisted in building his business. His name is John Hancock. He's a conventional university grad. And the guy's doing very well in business right now. He makes a lot of clothes for brands and for companies, right? And he did this for my brand and our company, a lot of copies. So I'm going to be giving this out, copies of this out to people. What I need you to do is get the book, summarize your best chapter, post on Instagram, tag RealVest, and then we'll be giving out free goodies to those who have good reviews. Let me come again. Get a copy of your book, review your best chapter. Let me start again. Get a copy of your book today. Review your best chapter. Write it on Instagram, tag RealVest and follow us. And then you get a copy of RealVest hoodie by one of Dr. Steven's products, John Hancock, who is running a branding company. So that's my way. I'm going to contribute to people who are really taking action and who are serious. If you like the way I'm looking, I think I'm feeling myself cold today in Lagos. That's how my brand is supporting what we're doing here today. So go to the website, check the account, take action right now. All you just need to do, many of you are here who are young people, you're at home, you're a full housewife, or you're working, get this guide and begin to digest. But most importantly, take action with what you've done. So I have some few announcements about some of the things that we're doing to tell you that we're on the journey already, and we're about to wrap up. For those of you who have been here with us from morning, please let me quickly recognize, we have great people in the house. The Director of Entrepreneurship of Harvard, Dr. Shegun Ilugusi. Thank you so much, sir. We honor you. I want to say thank you for taking our time to be part of what we're doing here today. Very shortly, yes, who am I to forget that? Please, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat box section, please help me to put hands together for this amazing woman, Dr. Mrs. Oluwatobi. Yes, for the job that she's doing, for being supportive of this project. I don't know, she has been there all through. She's been there through thick and thin, ensuring that all things go very well. Please, let's appreciate her in the chat box section. Also, Tolu, please prepare. You just take us through a 4-minute presentation. We'll be launching the mobile application that has the book and links to all mentors. Did you hear that? Links to all mentors. Hey, Jesus. Okay. If you're here today, this is one of the amazing giveaways that we'll have for you. We'll be launching the mobile and the web app soon, and then you get access to the book. And then most importantly, to all the mentors here. Does that include the board members? Because I'm hearing some figures that I need to connect with. This is amazing, and this is what happens when you take opportunity. Also, I can see Dr. Agbola in the house today. Thank you so much for the amazing work and for your support for what you're doing with us. Dr. Ibidoni Steven, thank you too. We love you. So this will be available, but we're going to do a pre-presentation very shortly, if Tolu is ready for us, while as we move towards the end of the program. Let us have this presentation on the mobile app, which is where we would have all these amazing things going on, if Tolu is ready.
Yes, I am.
You are? Okay, you can share your screen with us as we're ready for you to.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. You have a wonderful screen. Great. Wow. Are you using 5G? Just kidding. Okay, so take us through.
Okay, I would log out now so I can log in again. So let me exit this. Okay, so this is it. This is available on Android and iOS. Test 06 mail.com. So that's it. So this is where we have all the books, chapter 1 to chapter 10, and one can purchase the whole book at a discount. Purchase. We'd also have a podcast section where we'd have podcasts available.
Okay.
And we have a notification section also.
Okay.
And we have higher talents, give, volunteer, help builders, settings.
Wow.
You get to share the app, rate the app, give feedback, and learn about the app.
Awesome.
So in the library section, there's an overview of the book title. Then there's the pay stack option to pay.
Okay. Wonderful. So you're trying to use a test card?
Yes, a test card.
Great. Post-COVID, if you're not closer to technology, you'll be far from everything. This is what's happening right now, anywhere in the world. So please don't bother to take the numbers. It's not a real card. Okay, great.
So that's it. I'm successful.
So that's notification.
Yeah, so you could start reading.
Okay. Did you pay for all of us? Because it looks like all of us will be reading now. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's as simple as it should be. That's product launch for you at its. I'm sure there is also a video guide for this. So if you have any issue, which you shouldn't have, if you're here, this is 2020. That's simple enough for everyone. So that you can just go through that. This is available on Android, and I'm told it's also available on iOS. I'm told for everyone who have made their orders today, you will receive an email today of the version of your ebook. It will be sent to everyone today. And please remember that this is someone's. It's a what do we call it again now? It's someone's intellectual property. So please don't become Father Christmas with it, right? If you want to become Father Christmas, order in bulk, right? And we'll ensure that every single person gets it. Let us appreciate work of over 5 years. Everybody now is an author. Everybody just wants to sit down in their house. Post-COVID business, we just sit down writing 500 ways how to treat post-COVID. Nobody has seen COVID before. How do you know how to treat post-COVID? The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. So please, this is 5 years of intentional work. Let us show appreciation for this. Share this, and please don't forget about my small giveaway as a brand from realvest.ng. That if you get a copy of your book today or any other day from now, write the summary. How can I access the book? We'll share the link. We'll share it again. Let's please kindly share the link for this young person. This person wants to take action immediately. Please get the book. Send us a summary of your best chapter. Put it on Instagram. Tag at realvest and follow us. And interesting write-ups will get a hoodie, something like the one I'm wearing like this. We're in rainy season. You need to be protected, right? I'm going to call on Dr. Stephen once again to give us his next remarks as we'll begin to move towards the end of the program. Dr. Stephen.
Thank you very much, Damilare. I deeply want to appreciate Mr. Sunday Olorunsheyi, Mr. Israel Ovire, Sheyi Abolaji, Odun Longe, every single person that has been of help so far from the beginning of this dream and pursuit. I've personally shared this heart and passion with them, and they've encouraged me to continue. Thank you so much for your encouragements and your drives. Thank you for all those that have given me the privilege to experiment my ideas on their lives and how it has produced for them. Thank you so much for trusting the process. I'm deeply honored and grateful. And thank you for everyone who will be partnering with us on this, to all our participants for taking the time to be here today. Thank you so much. I'm not supposed to take the appreciation and vote of thanks. It's supposed to be Dr. Mrs. Oluwatobi to share that. But this is me just deeply wanting to appreciate all those who have taken the time to be here today, and all those who have been mentors, big brothers, and friends, and to encourage me on this journey. Thank you so much. Sheyi Abolaji, thank you so much. You've always been. Thank you so much. God bless you greatly. I'm deeply.
My brother.
Thank you so much. Concerning the book, the app is going to be available in 2 weeks' time. So today it's the PDF. From today, it's going to be the PDF until the app is launched in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be in the App Store and the Android Google Play in 2 weeks' time. So, but from today, for everyone who has ordered, you get it in your email in PDF format, of course, with a key, alongside the documents that will be sent to you, and you can start the process from there. But remember, the book is just it's not the end game. It's the beginning of a process, and that's how we're going to be interfacing with every single person who is going to be involved in this, as well as the number of schools and students and persons that we'll be working with, so that we can drive the mission that we're trying to drive. And we look forward to having you work with us and partner with us, whether as a funder, a supporter, a mentor, a facilitator, a tutor, because it's not one person that's going to make this happen. We are all in this together. So thank you very much.
Okay, guys. Once again, everyone, thank you for being part of this. Today, we are part of a new revolution. I'm trying to sound like Martin Luther King. One day, I hope that we would have a population of people where almost half of our population are entrepreneurs, creating strong businesses, solving African problems, with innovation and reaching for the globe. And that's what we're starting here today. And you are part of those who are making that history possible. Thanks to everyone once again for making this a phenomenal time. Please visit www.edustart Edustart Project. I want to ensure that I have the URL correctly. Edustart.global/the-next-billion. Check the chat boxes there and be part of this. Be intentional about this. Be part of this, because we know that this is going to go far. This is going to go very well. And you are here today. You are part of this history. Like you've heard, get a copy of the book today. You will get a copy of the ebook. Thanks to all our amazing speakers who have launched and who are giving free copies out. Thank you for always, leading us with great example. Mr. Sheyi Abolaji for the inspiration. Mr. Israel Loviri for those powerful words and those big numbers that you call to inspire us. Thanks to Ms. Odunlonge for the amazing work you're doing as a female entrepreneur and how you are blazing the trail for us. I'm not committing any crime yet, but I know that you are the one to run to when it's time for business legal issues. And all right. Thanks to Mr. Olorunseyi Sunday for showing us how you can build a global business, and then you don't have to be at your shop every day because you've built great structures and institutions around your business. Ladies and gentlemen, it is smart for us to always learn from those who have gone ahead of us. And that's what Dr. Stephen has put together in the book that we'll have here today. Once again, I implore you and I advise that you take action by getting a copy of this book. Tell a friend to also get a copy of this book for those who want to build global and strong businesses for the African continent and beyond. I'm Oshokoya Damilare. I'm also one of the products of this great man. And today, and that's why my ears are going back, if you can see from the screen, I had to take care of 3 businesses. And in the space of a year plus now, we've not grown multi-billion, but now we are at multi-million at the small level of what we are doing, and we're doing amazingly well. We're also part of this project. Get a copy of the book, review and put on Instagram, and tag at Revest, and I'm dishing out free hoodies for that. That's how we're contributing. On the final note, I would love to hear from Mrs. Folashade Oluwatobi on our final remarks, representing the entire team and closing us on this great one. Mrs. Folashade Oluwatobi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate everyone for today. Thank you. I want to especially appreciate all the board members. Mr. Israel Lubiri, thank you so much. Mr. Odoluwa Lunge, Mr. Sheya Bolachi, Mr. Sunday Olorunseyi, Mr. Sunday Adibisi, thank you so much. Dr. Stephen Oluwatobi is always telling me so much about everyone. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for being there. And thank you for everyone, all the panelists today, everyone that spoke today. Thank you for inspiring us. We really appreciate you. And to all our attendees, thank you for believing in this vision. Thank you for being a part of this. And to all the team members, I also want to say a big thank you. Thank you to Damilare. Thank you, Deola. Thank you to Tolu. Thank you, everyone that has been working behind the scenes to make today a wonderful day. I deeply appreciate you all. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Okay, and that's it from here. We can't thank. Okay, great. Thanks to everyone, to all our speakers once again, and to Dr. Stephen. Thank you for the group that you're doing for the past 6-7 years, curating and building and cultivating next generation of entrepreneurs for the African continent. Every single one of what you're doing, and we thank for everything. Entrepreneurs in the house. Smart employees in the house. Yes, and we are how. We want to say thank you, and then we'd love to hear from you. Please follow us on Instagram, on Facebook at the Edustart Project to hear from you, and tag us in what you are doing today, telling people about this program. So on behalf of everyone, I want to say thank you and God bless. Please do enjoy the rest of your day.
Before you close, Larry, I can see Professor Sunday at DBC. His camera is on. I'm just noticing him there now. Allow him to say.
Yeah.
Allow him to say a thing or two. Yeah.
Oh. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, yes, I've been following that from the onset. It's been an amazing moment, and Dr. Oluwatobi is making a very great impact in the academic world, and that is what is needed for now. I just want to say that, and given the opportunity to pass just the last comment is the fact that if we don't solve the problem of the youth today, tomorrow none of us will be able to sleep. Boko Haram came on board because in the last years, the problem of the youth was not solved, and we are having the challenge we have today. So this is one of the ways to do so, and this is the way to make the youth to believe in themselves. And like I used to say it in University of Lagos, mind entrepreneurship. We have to make all of them first of all to awaken their mind into understanding innovation and entrepreneurship so that they can create a better future for themselves. So thank you, congratulations, Dr. Oluwatobi. So we'll be supporting you from the university as we move on.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that support. That's Professor Sunday at DBC, Director of Entrepreneurship, University of Lagos. Guys, we've come to the end of this amazing and awesome event. Once again, this is like the 5th time saying thank you, but we're still saying thank you again for taking time out of this for all our speakers and to every participant. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Así que quieres aprender inglés. Aquí tienes 3 mitos que son completamente falsos. 1, debes hablar.
But he brought me in, oh, his love for me, oh, his love for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am.
to you tonight. Above the singing, God, above the music, above the songs, let your name be lifted high, Jesus.